Hello, chess fans. It's me again, Craig Barr, the Master, bringing you another interesting game in which I played a chess computer. Magnus, age 10, is a fairly strong program in which it's kind of an app in which you can get it on your Apple iPhone or any of those phones, and it has different levels. Now the level I like to play it at, Magnus is 10 years old but 10 years old, still, 2200 FIDE. Now there are two rating systems. You have the United States rating, which is traditionally a little bit higher. And then you have the FIDE rating, which is an international rating, and it is a little bit tougher to get. When you make 2200 USCF, I consider that sort of borderline master. You call yourself a master, but you're really not a master, okay? But when you make 2200 in FIDE, FIDE, now that's something, man, because you really are a master, okay? Now the only problem sometimes is trying to hold that rating, hold that above, and the best way I found, if you want to be a real master, get it up to 2300, and then you'll never lose your master rating as long as you play safely and conservatively against low-rated players. Now in today's game, which is Roy Lopez, I had another very interesting queen sacrifice, which I would like to show you guys. Okay, Roy Lopez starts out like this, and this is the normal way this opening goes. These are the standard moves. Now, you don't have to think about these moves that much, but you have to kind of memorize them. And this is the what I call the tabia. What's a tabia? Tabia is a position that it's kind of like a pattern. It's kind of like almost like when they produce money, they stamp it and it produces the same same thing over and over again. So this is kind of your standard tabia. This is called the Chigorin variation of the Roy Lopez. Now at first you go, what? What the heck? But there's a method to the madness. The knight is actually not that great on this square because it's kind of blocking the queen. You want to get your queen, out to c7. And so it's a very normal and useful way to do that. You see how the knight has gone from this square to this square, which is a better square, and now the bishop can develop smoothly, and black has no more further development problems. Now that's good because this is the only. Now the idea behind knight d2 instead of knight c3 is now the knight can hop to f1 and then to g3. See, this on f5 is a hole. This is your hole in the Roy Lopez. And sooner or later he's going to be compelled to play g6, which creates all kinds of weaknesses on these dark squares over here. So now, I can't do what I wanted to do, which is play knight to f1. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm just going to whip out another book move, of course. Now see, I'm very happy to see this move. When he plays c6, the bishop's blocked, and now I can start moving my knight around. The computer likes the maneuver knight f1, and this is a standard maneuver in the Roy Lopez. Now that's kind of interesting, but the problem is I push. And now, see, I've got the bishop locked in. Got the bishop blocked by my pawn. So this bishop is sent to the graveyard already. Queen c7, you gotta develop the queen and get the rooks connected, guys. Very good thing to do. Now I'm developing. You see how there's a hole here on f5? Now I'm going to come in here, but to prevent my knight from coming in here, he's going to have to play g6, right? Got to play that move. But he plays c4 first. Then he plays rook e8. Now, if I come in with the knight, he simply retreats the bishop. Now I can come in now, but I'm realizing that he's gonna eventually kick me out. So I have to really decide what I'm going to do here. This is kind of a normal developing move. And so far, both sides have developed normally. This is an excellent square for the knight. But I don't want to capture the knight because he's going to recapture the queen. So I just continue. Now the purpose of this move is maybe to get the aggressive f4 in. See, I knew he would do that because he's got to prevent that knight from coming in. Now maybe I start, this is a waiting move. Now I'm getting aggressive here. You know, I want to pry open the F file and get some pressure going along this line. Maybe double up rooks here. The black's going to have a hard time with his, see, this is an exposed king side. This is kind of a weakening move in my opinion. The computer already has me ahead by 0.5, which is half a pawn. Okay, now notice that the dark squares around his king are very weak, and these dark squares I can exploit. Okay, I don't like that move, you know. See, the action, the critical area of the board is right around here. What are you doing moving your pieces all over here? This is a very bad plan for black. He should be trying to shore up this area, which really is an area of concern. And now, what's the idea behind this move? Now, you know, I could post up here with the bishop, but I have to be worried about tactical shots like knight takes pawn. I really have to worry about something like that. Now I'm going to post up here. This is an excellent outpost for my pieces. I could put the knight here, which is very strong, or I could put the bishop here. So I decided to put the bishop on a good square. And the computer agrees and likes it. Now I'm ahead 2 points. 2 points, so that's very significant. Okay, so now he should be, that's good. He's got to start bringing pieces back to defend. So now what am I going to do? Yeah, I don't want the knight coming in there, so I'm going to, so the knight comes in, and now I've still got a very strong attack on the F file. The computer likes H4, but I believe that he's just weakening his king more and more. Now the computer likes knight F1, but actually I wanted to reserve the square for the rook, because I want to double up, and there's powerful pressure, you see, on this F7 square. And it's very hard for black to get out of the bind now. Knight H5 is best, probably, maybe to come in here and to get rid of some of the pressure that's coming along the F file. Yeah, that's a lemon. He's got, you know, knight H5 is just absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. He's got to get the knight F4 in. See, he's just dicking around. He's going to get into serious trouble. Now I'm preventing knight H5. Now the computer is in very serious trouble because of rook F8. Here's just what he played, and this is strong. See, I don't want the knight moving anymore, so black does not seem to realize the danger. See, now I've got some real pressure here. Check. Computer prefers king H2. Why am I getting to this self-pin? Well, I really didn't need to do that. This is kind of a lemon. You notice how there's awkwardness. This is awkward. The pieces are real awkward. I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to rip a pawn. Now now I'm attacking the pawn. But I could also try to get the bishop into H6. Now he's kind of, you know, defending well. So now I have to develop the knight, maybe to F2. The knight, see, this knight here is not doing anything. Now that's kind of weakening. You know, I don't really think I like that too much, so I take it. Now he's kind of futzing around a little bit. Now I check the queen. Now he's pretty much got to take on d5. That's a lemon. Now I'm going to attack his king. Now we have some real attacking chances right around the king side here. Now that doesn't really do much. I'm coming in now, attacking the knight. Now I'm just kind of waiting. Now I have this threat of rook takes bishop, rook takes rook, and then bishop check, winning a piece. So he's got to do something about that. And he's always got to watch out for queen h5 coming. So now I'm developing. Computer likes rook takes bishop here. That's very interesting. It's a move I didn't really even consider. But this is good for white. You know. Gotta take it. The knight's too strong. Now comes the critical position. Guys, I want you to just think about your next move for a while. How is white going to break through? Now, the knight here is kind of offside, but what's the critical piece that's really holding up black's game? Yes, it's the bishop right here, guys. So you have to decide. Now I could just take the bishop. I don't see there's anything really all that wrong with that. Problem is he's going to recapture, and what I really want to do is get my bishop in here. So the computer is saying queen here. And I had to, you know, really think about this move, because this is the critical position that we reach after the queen sacrifice. And now you have to just think about, how am I going to finish black off? Obviously I'm up 15, that's excellent, but you still have to finish the game, and this is one of the most difficult things for most of you to do, is how am I going to finish black off? I could take the rook. That loses because there's a discovery. So I should be thinking about either rook takes rook or bishop takes rook. But I decided that I wanted, you know, the king to go back. So I decided to check here. And now the computer was waffling and actually thinking about coming up with the king, which I think is crazy, absolutely nuts. So finally it sobers up. And now I decided to take. Now this is cool because, you know, my rook might come in here, and this is the point of checking, is I want to get the king to the back rank somehow, where it's kind of a sitting duck target. You know, if I can get the king back here, then it kind of makes the rook kind of look funny, and then I have all kinds of mating stuff. But it's kind of interesting that the computer now considers it a mate in 14 moves. In other words, it's over, folks. So it's so bad that the computer gives up the queen, and of course the rest is technique. Now, this should be fairly easy for all of you. And as far as my advanced players, you can now end the video because the rest is duck soup. But I'll show you my technique anyway. Now I really want to defend this pawn. You know, the end game, the pawns are very important now. So I protect the pawn, and then I start coming in. Now I start ripping pawns. Now it's over, folks. It's an easy win. And I just wanted to show you the concluding moves. And now we're getting close to checkmate. So now you gotta be careful of stalemate. So this is how I finished him off. Now here, I want you to find the mate in 2 moves. Okay, have you found it yet? Check. King must come up. And mate. Thanks for watching, folks.